in Australia. I can't believe it. How are you? We are with Berangere, Richard, and your beautiful daughter, Eleanor. And it's a great pleasure because we met last year. It was last year, right?
Yes.
And I know you have beautiful ideas on education. The way you are with Eleanor is so nice. So please, would you like to share with the people of the marathon? It's Marathon 3000. We are with almost 50 countries now. And we want to thank you for your time. It's so nice. Thank you. And please, would you like to share first education? What's your ideal education? What would be the best education for you?
Do you want to
The
start?
best.
Well, as I was
Welcome.
telling you in private, hello everyone. I've been researching, the best way to educate my child, but also other children. I've always been involved because I see amazing potential, that they are incredibly fast as learning anything. They're also very easy to manipulate, and I've seen it. So I was very careful, throughout pregnancy to give the best food to my child. And then when she was born, I was just looking at all the different stages, and it's such an amazing topic. And I feel that what is so important is just like being listening to them, because they grow so fast from a day to another. They a different person with different knowledge, even from a minute to another. So I think, we adults have to adjust to their fast pace of learning. We have to catch up all the time with them. So it's challenged me, and I think really the best way to educate our children is to value that interaction, see them as equals at all times, respect them, respect their opinion, respect their emotions, acknowledge what they are going through, acknowledge their experience, tell them that we don't know and we don't need to know everything, because they seek advice, they seek knowledge from adults, and sometimes we do not know and we pretend we do, and we lie to them. And I think lying is also a huge deal in raising children.
Never lie to a child.
Exactly, because they know.
And by the way, to anybody, and not to yourself.
Yeah, they feel the truth. They feel the truth. So
they do.
Connect them. Tell them the importance of trusting their own intuition, their gut feeling. I think is a key to understanding how our body and mind work. Emotions are very strong, that, everything in that primitive part of brain is just things that we just cannot control. That's the first stage, emotional, we're talking about emotional intelligence. So value how you feel, name those emotions. Because if you are safe, if you are happy, if you feel that content within yourself, then you can learn. If you don't, the learning is going to be a lot slower. And we have at all stages of our life the capacity to influence the neurological pathways, to improve, to overcome. So with the right attitude, with a positive attitude, a loving attitude, a caring attitude, with a non-judgmental attitude towards feelings and knowledge. Everyone has their own set of beliefs and cultures and background, family history, multi-trauma history. Talking about, kids from a refugee background have a complete different way to learn, because they have to overcome their trauma. Sometimes it takes years, and even if they do overcome it, it's there. It will always be there. So acknowledging that, this is what we live in our life, what we experience in our life is critical at all times. And in the learning process, we need to always be aware of that. When I look at anyone, a child, an old person, a not so old, a male or female, I have that in mind, that I don't know how they felt, you know, when they were born, what they experienced, you know, things in their life. I don't know them. I have to have the humility to care for them and try to understand where they're coming from. A lot of when we fight for something is that we disagree, there is a miscommunication. So, you know, being patient, sometimes we speak different languages, sometimes we, you know, we struggle to understand our points. We make a lot of assumptions. So I think making sure that we don't misunderstand our children and the people that we love with is a core. It's very important. So that's, yeah, it's a broad answer, but yes, love is important, and respect is important in order to learn. Do you want to talk?
And Richard, what about biggest impact on society and so on? What the link with education?
That's a very good question. I think
What's your question?
that's probably why it's good. I think that we don't acknowledge that children are part of our society, and I think that's the problem. That, well, not a problem. I think that's our challenge to overcome. That when I ask my daughter, 5-year-old daughter, what she thinks of a situation that I know that I'm challenged with as an adult, if it's morally, ethically, and I say to my daughter, I say, Eleanor, what do you think of this situation? She goes, Daddy, it's wrong. And so you know, and I say, well, why do you think it's wrong? It just doesn't feel right. So we're very lucky. Our family is to be around the Aboriginal people of Australia, and the education that they're giving us is based on, as Berangere says, an equality of everyone. A very short story I'll give you is that when our daughter was very young, and we had to go somewhere, and it was a hot part of the day, and she needed to rest, she needed to sleep. And we're all going to go there, about 20 of us, we're going to go to a place. And I said to the elders of the group, I said, you guys go on first, I'll stay with my daughter, and I'll stay with her and I'll catch you up. And they said, no, we're all one. Eleanor's contribution to where we're going is as important as anyone else in the group's contribution. And I just think that simple act of inclusion, not seeing them as someone different, that, because then that's ego. Oh, I'm the parent, I know what is best for everything, but yet I can ask my 5-year-old daughter what she would do, and she has the answer for me. So I just think, for me, the connection between education and society is really just, as my wife Berangere is saying, is that value of children, and asking them, okay, they don't have the worldly experience and all those kinds of things that you get when you go through life, but they know in their gut what is right and what is wrong. So in a way, it's maybe not what we should, how we should be educating our children. It's actually just listening how our children are trying to educate us.
Wow. Would you like to repeat this last sentence, and we are going to write down?
I said maybe it's less about us trying to educate our children, more than listening to our children so that they can educate us.
Beautiful.
That intuition is so important. Knowing what is right. Sometimes you feel it in your, well, often you feel it in your body and you don't express it. You may not say, you may not use the right words, you may not have the right behavior, but you feel it in your body, and you got to translate that feeling, that over that intuition that children have. They're extremely intuitive in all, and as they learn, and also they have that curiosity. In order to learn, you have to be willing to learn, to have that curiosity. And they look at different steps. They don't look at the whole picture. They don't understand the whole picture. But as Richard says, like, they have that little step, the what feels right. I'll go where it feels right, and then I'll learn, and then I'll learn more, one step at a time.
And you can also take another example, which is undervalued in, I believe it's undervalued in our society, which is art. But yet all the socialites, they love art. And so let's just take that as an example and look at Pablo Picasso, someone that's incredibly revered in the art world, and any intellectual person will give you a, you know, incredible lengthy explanation of what they think of Pablo Picasso. And look at what he said. It took me a lifetime to paint like a child. And so again, these people knew it. And so it's our job, in a way you can translate what Pablo Picasso said to say it takes us a lifetime to think like a child. And so once we are in that mindset, only when we are in that mindset can we ever think about educating our children, can we think about educating that next generation, because we're not getting the basics right now, you know. And so, and they know that what's right and what's wrong. So let's go back to the basics. Let's go back to saying, you know, let's care for one another. That's what we're trying to teach our children.
We think we can control their behaviors because they are a reflection of what we show them, but we need to teach them to control their own behaviors by acting the way we want them to act. So when we think children don't have the right behaviors, it's because we haven't taught them the right one. It's not because they don't have it.
It's our responsibility.
And when, like, I've seen it in the playground, Eleanor has a black doll, and she's part of our family. Her name is Baby Julie. And she travels with us. She, you know, like, she's very close. And Eleanor said, I love black people. I said, yeah, I love all people. But then in the playground, she had, you know, a situation with a little girl that didn't want to play with the black doll. And it really, really challenged me, and it challenged Eleanor. Eleanor was so sad. So I was watching my child being so upset about something really incredibly unacceptable. And I had to work out with my child what was the best way to deal with the situation. I did not have the answers. You know, how do you deal with the situation like that? And Eleanor said, well, you know, and said, that's okay, Mom. She was the one reassuring me. Said, that's okay, Mom. I can still play with my doll. I can still love my doll, you know. And I said, that's exactly right. But it hurt because I said, what, you know, she's obviously, this 6-year-old had learned this behavior from people around her. So I feel we all have a responsibility for this situation to never ever happen. And we've got a long way to go, but this is what why I'm talking to you right now, that this is not, we should never ever have to deal with this in a world where we are equals, you know, whether you are a child, whether you were born in Bolivia, in Zambia, in
Okay.
Egypt, we are all equals. And I think for me, education is about teaching my child that she must have that compassion, that respectful attitude towards all things living in life, not only human beings, you know. And I think that's what Richard and I are learning from our elders too, that, you know, we're just a part of the earth. We are part of the biodiversity, and we should not control nature. We're part of nature. So a black person is part of nature. A white person is part of nature. You know, whether you call it a beautiful chocolate skin colored person, or, you know, like it doesn't matter. And I think for me, that's also the challenge of our society right now, that with the ongoing debate about why are we still valuing one life more than another. You know, we've got a long way to go. We've got a long way to go.
Beautiful.
Don't we? Hey, lovely people.
Look, sometimes we finish with a message to the world, but I don't want to ask you a message for the world. I would like to say, if you can talk to the earth, what would you tell her, to the planet Earth?
Sorry for what we've done, and that even though what's happening to it, we still love her, we still respect her, and all the old spirit around needs to know that too, that even though, you know, we're doing what we're doing, it's not representative of everyone, and that, you know, she has our commitment to still nurture her and love her just like she does to us.
And thank you for providing us with what we need. The planet Earth has never let me down. I've always eaten what I needed to eat. I've always lived in that comfort. And thank you for yeah, just providing and
unconditional love.
And yeah, and we do connect. We do talk to Mother Earth. We breathe Mother Earth. We love Mother Earth. We part of it. The earth is our family. The land is our family. Everything on earth is part of us. So thank you for showing us the path that we believe is the right path. The path
choose to walk.
That's it. We choose to walk. That's right.
I thank you. I think Australia has a lot to teach us, and all the elders of Australia too, grandmother and grandfather equally. And this is the goal with education: oneself, the society, and the earth being one again and loved mutually. Thank you so much. It's so beautiful. And we do keep in touch. There is so much to do, to exchange, to feel. And this is the right time. After 2020, there is like a waking up individually and globally. Globally, I don't like this word, but I will say collectively. And we are all part of it. Thank you. You take care. Have a good trip. Hello to your family.
Thank you.
We keep in touch.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Ciao.
Ciao. Thank you so much.